we can kick off. Good to go.
Yeah, welcome everyone. Thanks for jumping on. My name's Mel, and Gillian tonight will be running this workshop on goal setting, about setting your intentions for 21. As I may mentioned, Gillian had done this workshop last year for her team, and I got so much benefit out of it, and I thought it'd be amazing to share that with you guys. So Gillian is a local, lives in Yeppoon, and runs a successful health and wealth business with LifeVantage, and also is the creator of the Lifeball Diary, which you may have seen, which is beautiful. I see that you've just gone online with it this year, so that's something new. So I'm still not ready for digital, but I'm keen to know how you go with it.
Sure.
How is it going?
Yeah. Well, the year's yet to kick off, but I've been doing a lot on my iPad. And yeah, last year, I guess it was the Australian to US dollar wasn't so good. So the diaries ended up quite expensive. And I've always done it as a zero profit. It's just whatever they cost is what I charge. And so this year I thought, oh, I'll give digital a whirl. So if anyone wants one, I'm happy to email you a copy. It's there for the taking. You can send me your email addresses after tonight. But yeah, no, it's exciting. I just do it on my iPad. So these days, your latest iPads come with your Apple Pen, and it's just like writing on paper because you can put
okay,
paper thing on it.
Maybe I could do that then.
Yeah, it's handwriting. You're away.
Oh, okay. I'm behind the times. Anyhow, I'll hand over to you, Gillian.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Mel. And thanks everyone for joining us this evening as well. So as Mel said, I'm in Yeppoon on the Cap Coast. A little of my background. So I am a teacher by trade, taught for years, school principal for quite a few before I took leave to have my children. While I was on maternity leave, I did start working from home, as Mel said, with a health and wellness business. They say that in life you are offered 2 opportunities of a lifetime, and if you're over 40, one of those has already passed you. And I don't know what it was at the time. Well, I do, it was the product for me, but it just, it was just meant to be, because it ended up being the biggest blessing of our life. It's kept me home with my children. I've now fully relinquished my principal position and just maintaining permanency. I'll do 1 day a week next year, but otherwise this keeps me home. So I think when you put things out there, and for me, I just wanted to be with my children. Sometimes those things in life come to you when you put it out to the universe. So for me, when it comes to goal setting, I've always been one to set goals in life at all different levels, I guess. So in the beginning, I wasn't always writing them down, but I had firmly in my mind what I wanted to achieve. And one of my first things was just getting through high school. I just wanted to complete high school. It wasn't something that my older sisters had done, my eldest sisters. So I'm one of 5 girls. My first 2 didn't complete high school. And so for me, it was just, I just want to get through high school. And we draw on life experiences, and then after that it was, I just want to get through uni. So I got through uni, and then I just wanted to get my first vehicle and all those little things. But I had these in my mind. I was painting this picture and I was putting it out there, and I would just focus on it. That was it. You just put it out there, putting it into the universe. And so through life, I learned that, setting these little goals for yourself and focusing on them really strongly helped you to achieve those goals. As I've gone along, I've gotten better and better at it. And I've now learned that those people that write those goals down, they're now in the top % of people who are achieving success. And, if you're regularly reviewing those, you actually fall into the top 1% by that stage, when you're regularly reviewing those goals and setting up the habits. So I'm all about perfecting goal setting. I'm very passionate about it. I've done it for years now, and it's certainly helped me to achieve many things in life, and I'm grateful for that. So I'm going to share my screen with you. I hope you've all got notepads, pens, all of that sort of thing. Let me just, can you see my screen there okay, Mel?
Yeah.
Awesome. And please let me know. We've got a few storms, or it's a bit rainy in this area, and sometimes my internet can be a little bit laggy. So I hope it's okay tonight for everybody. So goal setting. So Tony Robbins says that goal setting, or setting goals, is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. And I love this because it's about getting those dreams out there and then making them your reality. So when it comes to goal setting, it's all about the mindset as well. You know, many people won't even make it as far as getting onto a goal setting workshop or talking about their goals even. They avoid these sorts of things. Setting goals is really scary. And, you know, I've got some friends who I've talked about this with them over and over again, because they'll just say, I'm just not a goal setter. I don't set goals. It's just not who I am. And usually it's because when you're setting a goal and you go through the act of writing it down, there's this fear that can build up because you've got that fear of failure, and it's putting it out there to the universe. So I'm going to take you through some tips and tricks, some strategies for making the goals a reality as well. It's not just about setting the goals, it's about creating that reality. But the mindset is so important. We want to have that growth mindset. You know, what challenges are going to be there to help you to grow, as opposed to seeing them as just, you know, oh, this is just a problem. We want to focus on how can we overcome them and grow from these experiences. So I want to ask you, are you dreaming big enough when it comes to the things that you want in life? Have you capped yourself? Or are you thinking, you know, the world is my oyster, there's lots to be achieved? What is it that you actually want in life? And this is a tough question for many people. Some people don't actually know clearly what it is that they want. So I'm going to go through quite a few questions as we're working through this evening. We're looking at a lot of different areas of life. We're not just focusing on any one specific area. We're going to cover all aspects of life. So hopefully as we go through that, you'll start to gain a little bit of clarity around things that you do actually want. And then the big one is, why is it that you want those things? And again, I'll be focusing in on the why as well. So whys are very important to achieving those goals. If you've got a strong enough why, then you will definitely achieve those goals. So first thing to do is just to have a little bit of a recap on 2020. And, you know, wow, what a year to recap, because it's been very different for everybody. Believe it or not, some people have sort of gone through without being overly affected, because they might be, you know, you'd be lucky that you just live in Queensland, all your family's around you, and you haven't really been impacted. You could be someone who's got connections all over the world, and you have watched family, friends struggle and suffer with isolation and losing jobs, you know, not being able to get to them, not being able to travel, you know. It's thrown so many different obstacles our way. And, you know, perhaps it was that at the beginning of 2020, you set some goals, and the obstacles that have come along, those challenges that have popped up, meant that those goals are now stretching out. So it's not that you've failed, it's just that you haven't quite reached them yet. So have a little think. What goals did you have for yourself last year? What were your successes? And like I said, you might not have achieved all of the goal, but did you achieve a percentage of it? Did you get part way there? Where did you not have those successes that you were looking for? So it might be something that you need to revisit and find a new approach for it. Are you happy with the growth that you've been through, your personal growth? And are you on track to where you want to be in 5 years, perhaps 10 years, or even 20 years' time? Okay, so this is a really big question. So are you, where you are sitting right now, if you keep doing what you're doing day after day, are you going to be where you want to be in another 5, 10, or 20 years' time? What was your greatest lesson in 2020? Was there something that, you know, really stood out for you? And what are the things that you're going to leave in the past for good? You know, sometimes there's probably a few of us on here where we go through a little ceremony where we might write those things down, scrunch it up, burn it, and be done with it, leave it in the past. There's you know, certainly things that we need to move forward from as well. So ask you might want to jot down a few of those things as you're going. It will help you as we go along. So we're going to go through a process called goal dumping. And this is about getting everything that's up here in our mind down onto a piece of paper, putting out all of our wildest dreams, you know, anything that you've been thinking of that's been at the back of your mind, things that you would really love to accomplish. You know, it might not just be this year, it might be down the track, but we're going to be doing it in 6 different categories. So what I would suggest is that you actually give yourself a piece of paper, so enough room in your notebook to have at least half a page, maybe even a full page for each of these areas, because you're going to have a few things. Once we've done our goal dump, you'll need a bit of room to write underneath it for some other things as well. So the 6 areas, so if you're just at the top of each of your pages, pop down these 6 categories. So the first one is your financial, your business, your career. So it's just that income producing category. So whatever that looks like for you. The second area is all about personal development. This is you and your growth. The third area is your physical health. So physical or your health could be together. You might look at those categories separately within that bracket. The fourth area is your spiritual or your faith contribution, your giving back side of things. The fifth area is your social life, your family, relationships, all of that banner. And the sixth area is your personal passions, projects, hobbies, travel, all of those sorts of things. Now, you will see each of those headings again, so don't worry if you haven't got all 6 written down, you'll see each heading as we go along. So in this goal dumping process, I'm going to read through a number of questions just to generate some thoughts. And during this time, I want you to be writing down all of the ideas, goals that you would like to bring into fruition. There's never too many. This is just getting all of it out onto paper. You're doing a big dump of ideas. I'm not telling you that you have to go out and achieve every single one of those this year. We're not doing that, but this is just a process of getting everything out of your mind onto that paper. So for the first category, the financial, the business, the career focus, I want you to have a little think to yourself. So in this category, what is your ideal role? So it might be in a profession, it might be a position within your workplace, it could be a rank if you're also in a network marketing business or, you know, home business, whatever it might be. What is your goal position for that area? How much money would you like to earn this year? It might be that you have a monthly income goal. It could be that you have an annual income goal that you would like to have by the end of the year. What is your ideal income? What can you be doing to generate more income? So perhaps it's that you are looking for a source of income. So what's your ideal position or job or opportunity or business venture? What is it that you could be doing to generate more income? What associations or organizations can you join in and get involved in that would give your career greater visibility and increased credibility? So what can you be a part of? What are the local community organizations? What can you do to expand your network of professional contacts in your industry or you know, industries that might complement what you're doing? And how much money would you like to save and invest this year? So thinking forward to your future, what is it that you'd like to tuck away into your super or into you know, investments or any of those sorts of things? So you're not limited to these areas, but you know, anything that you can think of around your finances and your business and your career, pop down all of those things now. And if anyone wanted to share one or two into the comments, I'd love to see those. I'll keep that chat box open. So if there's anyone that wanted to share one, please do. You see lots of heads down and writing away, which is fantastic. Okay. This is one of the biggest categories. So I'm just going to give you that little bit of extra time here, because while money isn't everything, it certainly makes life a bit easier. It certainly, you know, helps us in a lot of other categories. So getting that set up and established is certainly very helpful in achieving our other goals. Okay, so our second category is personal development, and this certainly complements the first area very well. Whatever we do in terms of developing ourselves personally will positively impact our entire lives. So have a little think to yourself, what specifically can you do to become excellent and considered the best at your profession? What can you do to strengthen your leadership skills? What specific things can you do, change, or eliminate to become better organized? What professional skills would you like to strengthen or develop? And if you could have any skill you desired, what would it be? So personal development, is it that you're looking at tapping into, you know, more books, joining a book club so that you are reading personal professional development style books? You're looking at attending more courses that are focused in a specific skill development area? Are you attending conferences to help grow in certain areas? Perhaps you're looking to host some workshops of your own and work on your speaking skills and your public presence, or you know, you might be looking at developing courses yourself in this area. Tracy, thank you for sharing. Start working as a health coach on the side one night and a Saturday morning. Awesome. I'd love to hear more about your specific area with the health coach as well. That's amazing. KDM, personal development, attend more workshops and retreats. Oh yes, I love a good retreat. And with those workshops, is there a certain type of workshop that you're looking at attending? Like, is there a specific focus area? Is it you know, around you know, a health area or a skill set area? So you could pop those down on your sheet as you're going, but be really specific with what it is that you want. The more specific you are, the more likely you'll be able to achieve those goals. Thank you for sharing. Please keep sharing them in there if anyone has any others they'd like to bring forward. Okay, third category, physical and your health. Now, this is so important because, you know, our health is our wealth, as they say. So I don't think I have to preach to anyone here. I think we're all converted in terms of health. I know that Mel's very focused on health as well as many other people I know here tonight. It is so important. So ask yourself, what would you like your body to look and feel like at the age of 80 or even 100? You know, how do you want to be? What sort of a person do you want to be at that age? How long would you like to live? What health habits would you have to change to improve, to ensure this happens? What actions could you take to improve? And you can insert your own words here. So it might be, what actions would you have to take to improve your weight or your stamina, if you're someone who's doing physical activities, to improve your flexibility, to improve your gut health, to improve, you know, insert whatever it is that you are looking to improve health wise. It might be that you've got something health related that you really need to, you know, take control of. It might be that you would like to learn something about food or energy or exercise or nutrition. You know, there might be a certain area, a skill area, knowledge-based area that you'd like to develop. What physical activities do you want to take on for 2021? You might want to broaden, you know, your exercise regime and learn some new skills. And what seems to be physically impossible for you today, but would fundamentally change your life if you were to do it? And feel free to share any of those in the chat, like I said. Okay, got a few eyes up, so we'll skip along to the next one. Feel free to go back. Oh, ocean swims, fearless. I love that. Do you, we need to have a bit more of a chat going on. I want to ask questions about these. I love setting goals. I want to be able to touch my toes when I am 80. Yay. Can you touch your toes now? Or was that to Neil or Leanne? Can you touch your toes now? I know you both can. So keep doing it every day and I'm sure you'll be there when you're 80. That's awesome. Okay, so let's move on now to our spiritual focus, our contribution. This is giving back. So doing more for your community, a really important one, because if you want to make your life better, giving back absolutely does that in a big way. So thinking to yourself, what contribution would you like to make for your community? In what ways can you give back? It can be as simple as, you know, picking up a bit of rubbish off the beach each time you're down there. I see so many good Samaritans that do that all the time. They'll just go take, you know, a bag with them each time and bring back the rubbish that they find. Or, you know, it might be that you go and help out in a nursing home, or, you know, it can be anything, cooking a meal for a neighbour, just checking in on a friend. What small acts of kindness and courtesy can you do to make life more enjoyable? What are your most important spiritual goals? So this might be, Suzanne, you've got your hand up. Feel free to unmute and ask a question if you like. Are you there, Suzanne? I'm not sure if your sound is working. I can see you're unmuted, but feel free to type the question in the chat if you like, Suzanne. Yoga babe, yes. 3 for the sea. Just reading Jean's one there, 3 for the sea. So does that mean that you as well are swimming in the ocean, or? Oh, there's Suzanne. I can see you now, Suzanne. Did you have a question? Your hand's up. I can't hear you. Your sound's not working, Suzanne. It shows that you're unmuted, but I just can't hear you. So it must be your microphone. Are you on your phone? Are you able to type it in the chat at all? Okay, so I'll keep reading those questions just while Suzanne's typing perhaps. So how would you conduct yourself every day in order to feel very good and at peace with yourself? And how can you manifest your most deeply held precious values and beliefs? So what are your daily practices? You know, it could be that you have a faith or a religion that you're following and, you know, you want to commit more time to that. It could be that you just have some daily spiritual practices of your own, your meditation, you know, silence, your breathing, focusing on all of those things. Okay, hi. Oh, you love helping people with your readings. Oh, beautiful, Suzanne. And Tracy, continue to grow my meditation practice. I want to go on a 10-day silent meditation retreat. Oh, wow. I was reading a book the other day about someone who did that, and it's absolutely incredible what comes to mind and all the realizations during that. I also want to breath work more. Super powerful. Tracy. Meditate regularly, Suzanne. Awesome. So powerful. And number for this evening is picking up 3 pieces of plastic washed up on the beach every time you go to the ocean. If everyone did it, we would have a better ocean. I 100% agree, Jeanette. Beautiful. And yes, does sound totally awesome. Thank you, everyone, for all the comments in there. It's awesome. I love hearing all of your goals. Okay. So moving on to our next category, this is our social life, our family, the recreational side of things. So this is a really important one because, you know, particularly in a year where we've been, you know, conditioned to social distancing, and, you know, for many of us here, we'd sort of understand like that energy field, where they're distancing us by 1.5 meters, that energy field of 1.5 meters is actually something that can be felt with people person to person, and we are starving ourselves of that human connection and energy. And so for me, this is a really big one, and you know, it's about developing and finding other ways to make those connections and keep that positive energy within ourselves. So asking yourselves, what kind of relationships would you like to have? You know, whether it be with your family, your friends, new acquaintances, just, you know, we know the power of a smile that, in the street, the ripple effect that can have. In what ways can you show joy and appreciation to your loved ones? So it might be just putting that little bit of time aside each day and, you know, and making that dedicated family time. I know for myself, you know, with working from home, you can sometimes fall into the trap of just coming back to the computer all the time and working and working and working and working. And I know when my kids are starting to feel a little bit grizzly, or, you know, they're sort of getting under your feet a little bit, it's because I've neglected their time. And the moment that you put everything aside and give them 100% of your time and you spend that quality time with them, they are just so much happier and better for it, so that when you come back to the computer, it's actually more effective. You can get more quality time to work on your business as well, because you've filled up their love tanks. So it might be that focus of having that specific quality time. What could you do to enhance or bring the laughter and spontaneity back into your relationships? You know, you might need to, that might be a focus for you this year to boost that area. What new things, activities, hobbies can you introduce? So this could be, you know, more social outings. What, you know, we need to get creative here in terms of that socialization. You know, we're luckier in Queensland where we can be a little bit more social and catch up with our friends and all the rest of it. So let's make the most of that time. What can we do to build those relationships? And how can you strengthen and deepen those relationships? So let's have a look at the comments down here. To trigger internet Asler with kind words. Compliment and encourage them in what they do. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just a simple compliment can go a long way. Okay, so we're on to our personal passions now. So this is all about the things that you enjoy the most. This is filling your tank of you know, interests, hobbies, all of that sort of thing. So, you know, what travel would you like to do? What travel can we do? Might be a better question, but you know, let's put it out there. You know, what is it that you would like to do? It might be local travel. What musical instruments would you like to learn? What creative activities would you like to take on? What books and blogs would you like to write? What new different hobbies or activities would you like to start? What would your ideal home look like? So it might be just a bit of home decorating that could be your focus and interest for the year. And what can you organize? So how can you organize your home more efficiently? So, you know, it might be just focusing on getting that all sorted.
Zoomed out.
No? Oh, got your sound working, Suzanne. Maybe. I'll just mute now. That's okay. I just muted you, Suzanne, but the sound came all of a sudden. Okay, so we've got painting on canvas, Suzanne. Awesome. And macrame. Oh, I love macrame. Gee, there's some beautiful pieces around at the moment. Learning to sew and cricket. Oh, I've got the best story about a cricket. I've thought about getting one for such a long time. I thought, no, you know, we'll just wait a bit longer. And then my husband went and bought one so that he could make stencils for fishing lures. So I've got one because my husband wanted one. And boy, is it good fun. Art classes with Liz Drum. Oh, what sort of art classes does she do, Mel? You have to tell us, you have to share with us in the comments. Sounds awesome. Okay, so let's talk about all of these things that you've just put down on paper. So that was getting everything out of our mind down onto a piece of paper. I hope you had plenty of time to get all of those ideas down there. So when we are talking about goals, you've probably all heard of SMART goals, but this is really quite important when it comes to narrowing down to a specific goal and achieving it. So we want to be really specific. So we've got lots of ideas down now. Some of them are probably, you know, a little bit more clearer than others. But what we want to do is make a really clear goal that is specific. So we know who is involved, what it is, when will this happen, where will it happen, all of those W questions. We want it to be measurable. So how do we know that we have achieved it? And a really simple way of knowing whether it's a measurable goal is that you need to ask yourself, once I've achieved that goal, would a 5-year-old be able to tell me? So you can say to your 5-year-old, my goal is to earn $10,000 a month. And your 5-year-old can look and say, okay, well, that's $10,000 there. So yes, it's measurable, it's achievable. So, or I need to have built that garden in the back corner of the yard. And a 5-year-old can look out there and say, yes, the garden is built. So that's the test, and knowing that it's a measurable goal. A 5-year-old can tell you that, yes, you've achieved it. No, you haven't. Is it attainable? So You want this goal to be big enough to inspire you. So your goals are not going to be, so if your goal is to drink 1 glass of water a day, well, you know, we can all do that. It's not very inspiring. You know, it's probably not going to motivate you or excite you. So you want to have a goal that is big enough to inspire you. It might make you feel a little bit nervous in the stomach, but we also want the goal to be attainable. So if your goal is to fly to the moon this year, then the chances of that being attainable are not very likely, because the amount of training that you would have to go through to get there is going to take longer than a year. You'd also have, there's a number of other things that you'd have to go through. So we really want them to be attainable, but still inspire you. They need to be relevant. So this is a big one. Would achieving this goal actually have an impact on you? Or is it just because you're shooting yourself? I should. Okay, so you want this goal to have a positive impact on your life. And then the last one is to be time bound. So what is the time frame that you are setting for these goals? And the reason why we set a time frame is because there's that old saying, like, matter will expand to fill time. So if you don't put a time frame on your goals, then you might not achieve them, or you might not achieve them until you're 100. Okay, so you want to put a time frame there, because then you can set out the appropriate actions to achieve it within that time frame, rather than letting it expand out for whoever knows how long, and you know, being out of mind and not something that you're thinking about. So what have we got? Any chance you can flick the screen to family relations? Yes, I can. I'll go back for you. Maybe. Why is it not going back? Is it, oh, there we go. It was just being slow. That's personal passions, social family. Here we go. So Catherine, I'll just leave it there for a second. Feel free to take a screenshot with your phone of these slides. I'll also share the recording as well. I'm happy to share the slides with you. I'll send them to Mel and she can share them with you all. That's fine. So Catherine, just let me know once you've got that one there. And Liz is a school friend on this call. We finally attended an art class together for the first time in 20 years. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, are we all good, Catherine? We'll skip on ahead, and like I said, I'll get those slides to you if you don't have them. Okay, so we know what a SMART goal is. So now we're going to do what we call laser focusing. So on your page for each goal, so starting off first of all with our first category of business finance, I want you to go through and highlight in all of those things that you put down your top 3. What are the top 3 that would make the biggest impact in your life? What stands out to you the most? What are the most important out of those top 3? So once you have highlighted that top 3 and put a bit of thought into this, and you know, some of those you might want to just jig the wording of them a little bit, but we will do that more as we go along as well. But from those top 3, you're going to hone in on one of those goals. So out of those top 3 now, narrow it down to the number 1 goal that would make the biggest impact on your life. And we're going to be doing this for all 6 categories. So personal development, top 3. Then your health and your physical side of things. Your spiritual contributions. your family, your friends, and relationships? What are the top 3 things that you would like to be doing? And narrowing that down then to the number 1 goal. And then over into your hobbies and your personal passions. What are your fave 3 things, top 3 things? And then narrowing it down to the number 1 that would have the biggest impact for you. So this is giving you your top 6 goals for the year, focusing on each aspect of your life. Now, 6 goals is actually a lot of goals to have in a year. And what I will tell you now is that out of those 6 goals, while they'll be your biggest focus, and I'll show you ways in which you can work on keeping those at the forefront of your mind and creating the correct actions behind achieving those goals, of those 6 goals, you'll find that one of those will be a very dominant goal. It'll be your biggest focus for the year, because the mind really will spend all of its energy on one thing for most of the time. So if you can find out of those goals, if you can pick the one of those 6 goals that's going to have the biggest impact on your life, that is the one I encourage you to focus on the most this year. All of the others tend to fall in and come into fruition, I guess the word is the words I'm looking for, if you can achieve one of those big goals. If you can pick your biggest goal out of those ones, all the rest start to fall into place and naturally happen as well. But this top 6, they really need to light the fire. They need to get you excited. Okay, so I hope everyone's got that there, all done. Okay, so I want to talk to you about 2 types of pain, because this is actually an important part of helping to achieve these goals. So there's the pain of discipline, which is, you know, the discipline in getting these goals into action and following through with achieving them. And then there's also the pain of regret. So this is when we regret not getting something done or not achieving it. And there are absolutely life-changing differences between these 2 types of pain. The pain of discipline is temporary. So it might hurt to get out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, but it's only going to hurt for a few minutes until you've washed your face and then you enjoy the sunrise and all of those beautiful things. The pain of regret is eternal. So if you're regretting something you didn't do, you can't go back and get that time back again. It's past. You know, we have to deal with the consequences of the choices we've made in the past. So what pain are you going to choose when it comes to the way you live your life? Are you going to live with the pain of discipline, or are you going to live with the pain of regret? And think about that every time you start pulling back from going for those goals, or, you know, taking those positive actions. So like I said earlier, the why is a really important part of achieving our goals. So when it comes to your why, I want you to write down, and now this is under where you've done your brain dump. Like I said, you need a full page. So underneath where you've done all the dumping of the goals, and you've got one that's highlighted and circled, that's your specific goal for that category. So now focusing on that goal for that category, underneath, I want you to write down all the things that you will gain from achieving your goal. So why you're committed to making it a reality. You're linking the pleasure to achieving this. So it means that you're going to have more time freedom to be with your husband. It means you're going to have the flexibility to go and pick your kids up from school. It means that you're going to enjoy the artworks that you're going to be hanging on your walls. You know, you're going to be able to buy more of the foods that you enjoy. You're going to be able to eat the foods that you've grown. you know, what's all of those pleasurable things that you're going to achieve and feel by achieving that goal. So everything, what are all of those positives? You're going to be able to enjoy the smiles of your children, because you'll be there every morning when they wake up instead of doing something else, or you know, any number of things. You're going to you know, feel the strength in your body as you build your muscle tone, or you know, that you'll feel relief in your body because you've lost the weight that you want to lose, or you know, any of those positives from achieving your goals. And this might take you a little bit of time because there's 6 goals, but I encourage you to be as specific as possible. Really think about what good is it going to bring into your life by achieving each of those goals. What are all of the positives? And then this one's a little bit harder, and you know, for many of us it can sometimes, you know, pull at the heartstrings. But write down what it will cost you if you don't achieve that goal. So again, this is linking that pain back to not achieving it. And it's an important part of the process because our body is, our mind is trained to run from fear. And when it comes to setting goals, it actually sparks a fear factor in our body, you know, because, you know, we're nervous about all the things that might happen from achieving goals. Sometimes it means putting yourself out there. So we have to attach a bigger pain to not achieving it so that we can overcome that little bit of fear that we might have for actually going for it, if that makes sense. So you really want to just think really clearly, what is the pain attached to not achieving this goal? And I want you to get deep on that. Really think clearly. Does it mean that you are going to struggle financially for the rest of your life? Does it mean that you're going to be stuck where you are now and be looking at that same position in 10 years' time? Is there going to be no growth at all? Tony Robbins says that having a goal creates positive pressure, which is necessary to move forward. You must learn to manage that pressure. So important. So we want to run towards those positives. So we're focusing on all of the good that will come from achieving those goals. And we're cementing those negatives to not achieving it. We want to get away from that. We want to be inspired to take action because we are done with being stuck with where we're at. We want to have some growth. We want to move forward. We want to step closer towards achieving those goals. Okay, so now we're going to just go through a quick process of what we call power visualization. So this is about helping to get the mind in the process of achieving these goals, visualizing them, because whatever you focus on will grow. So if you're thinking about buying a new car and you've picked out a brand, good chance you're going to start seeing it everywhere because it's what you're focused on. You know, so what you focus on in life is what you attract in. So we want to be visualizing these goals every day. So one of the things I asked you to have for this evening is 6 A5 pieces of card. So that's one for each of your goals. So each of your goals, you're now going to give its own index card, and you're going to be giving your goal a power word. So something that, you know, just sparks you up. So, you know, in your family and relationships and, you know, friendships, all the rest of it, you know, a powerful word might be love, or, you know, just something that really resonates with you. It could be that, you know, for your business or goal, financial goal, it could be success, or it could be just, you know, like a rank. So it could be like, for us, it might be I don't know the ranks, is it diamond or what you've got for your oils, but you know, whatever it is, like something that really lights you up and gets you straight away connecting to that goal. So it's a powerful word that's going to follow you along for the rest of the year. And then you're going to write a present tense I am statement for each of those goals with a deadline attached. So I am healthy and toned by December 2021. Might be sooner than that. Some of these might be shorter goals. I am an elite pro whatever by June 2021. So that statement, this is something that you are going to look at every day. These index cards, you can make multiple of each one, duplicate them, put them on your bathroom, put it near your computer where you're working all the time, in the kitchen, just places where you're going to see them. So this is what you need to put on one side. You're going to give it that power word, a present I am statement. And Jim Carrey says, nothing happens in reality until it happens in your mind first. And how true is that? You know, every idea that's ever come about, every invention that's ever been created, it all happened in somebody's mind first. So what are you creating in your mind? We want it to be positive, and that's why we create these visuals, things that we look at, so that in our mind we can start to visualize those things. So now we're looking at habit stacking. So this is so I've talked a lot about the actions, and another word for those actions is creating habits. These are new things that we these are new daily actions that we're taking on to help us achieve our goals. So on the back of your index card, on the bottom half of the page, write down the habits or the actions or the next steps that you need to do to achieve these goals. So this is your action plan, your game plan. So if your goal is to become a health coach, so somebody mentioned they're doing the health coach, so there would be a lot of research involved in becoming a specialist in that area. So it could be that one of your actions is to read a minimum 10 pages on a specific health book every single day. So that would, you know, like you might even have a book in mind that you need to get through, and you can look at the number of pages and break it down into how many pages need to be read at a minimum daily so that you can achieve your goal by that set time. So we're getting really specific here. Now, an important thing when it comes to creating these new habits, habits can be made and habits can be broken. So it might be that you need to eliminate a habit out of your life as well. So it could be that you're choosing not to watch TV at night time anymore, because that time that you spent in front of the TV is now going to be time spent on perfecting your art skills or any other area that you need to spend more time on. When it comes to creating new habits, it's about attaching it to an existing habit. So if you are deciding that you need to go walking every single morning, then it might be that straight after brushing your teeth at night time, your first step is to get out your walking clothes and your walking shoes and set it beside your bed and set the alarm at the same time. So that now becomes a part of that process. So as soon as I've brushed my teeth at night time, I get my walking clothes and everything set up for the morning, and I put it beside my bed and I set the alarm. And then in the morning when that alarm goes off, first step is then straight away, well, that alarm's gone off, so I'm getting my walking clothes on. That's my first step of the morning, each morning. So attaching those habits to an existing habit helps to embed those new habits. And we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. It's a good old Aristotle quote. So these are the things that we repeatedly do. so often when it comes to achieving these goals, it's not about doing one big thing as a once-off event. It's just about creating small, daily, consistent actions and habits that over time compound. And if you haven't read The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, I highly recommend it. It's so powerful. It's these little tiny daily actions that actually amount to massive, massive achievements over time. And, you know, I can tell you, I've never done one thing big and massive. It's just been that over time, I've been very consistent in focusing on what I want and doing simple daily actions to get to where I am now. And I'm not saying that I've done anything major, but, you know, I'm happy with where I'm at in life. I'm really comfortable. I've, you know, achieved lots of goals, and I've set myself extra goals, and I know that I'm on track to achieving them because I'm putting in the correct habits, actions, and behaviors. So this is something that you need to spend a bit of time on. We won't have enough time to get all of that down tonight, but I want you to come back and focus on this, because this habit stacking is going to be the most powerful in helping you to achieve your goals, making sure you've got the right habits in place attached to those goals that you've set. Okay, and then we want to work on getting the laws working in your favor. So first of all, the law of expectation. This is where we come back to the mindset. Whatever you expect with confidence becomes your self-fulfilling prophecy. So what is it that you expect from all of this? If you're going to walk away and put this, you know, to the back of your table and not look at it again, and you're telling yourself that this has been a waste of the last hour, so be it. That's probably what you'll get from it. But if you walk away from this and say, I have got some serious goals written down here, I am going to achieve them, I'm going to get my actions all set out, I'm going to review them daily, I'm going to start my habits right now, I'm not waiting till the 1st of January, I'm starting today, then that's going to be your self-fulfilling prophecy. That's what you will achieve. The law of attraction. Whatever you dwell on and think about constantly becomes your reality. And that comes from The Secret. I'm sure you've probably all heard of that book as well. If not, go and read it, definitely. But again, you know, what is it that you're focusing on? I talked about the car one before, and you know, it could be that you've got a favorite color and you think, oh, I need to go and find some things in teal for my living room. And all of a sudden, all these teal things start popping up everywhere because it's what you're focusing on. You attract it into your life. So make sure you're focusing on the positives that you want, you know, all of those benefits to achieving your goals so that it becomes the reality. The law of correspondence. Your outer world corresponds directly with your inner world. So writing it down and, you know, putting all of those senses working on your goal, like thinking, you know, when you're visualizing, work through the senses, you know, what's that going to feel like? What's it going to taste like, smell like? You know, all of those senses, what am I listening to? So start telling the universe what it is that you want instead of what you don't want. Focus on that law of attraction. And then one of my favorites, and we're nearly done, I promise, is all about imprinting. So you've got your visualization cards, you've got your power words, you've got your positive I am statements. Now let's get some pictures and things happening here. Has everyone here done vision boards before? It's one of my favorite things to do. I put mine right in front of me. I'll just show you. So this is one that I've had for a while now, but I always update it, and I've got all these things, words that inspire me, things that I want for our house, you know, goals for business, finances, family. My husband's big boat's on there. He wants a bigger one than we've already got. But anyway, all of that sits just above me. I look at it every single day because I'm often in this position. But vision boards, they are so powerful. So it doesn't always have to be just you know, a physical board. You can have them as your screensavers on your phone. So that's a really powerful thing to do. I also have like little words, affirmations that pop up on my screen every 30 minutes or so. Like so you can tailor those to be your goals, your I am statements. Okay, so there's some apps here that you can use, different ones, whatever works for you. You can have, like, if anyone is on Pinterest, I love that. You can spend a lot of time on there. Just be careful, can cut into other important areas of life. But your Pinterest boards are like a vision board, because you're putting up all the things that are important to you, and you can have one for each goal and put all the things that are important to that goal, and get your mind thinking about that as well. So life is a gift. Wake up each morning and realize that. And, putting it out there certainly helps. For the I am statements, yes. So it's actually called I am. And a little trick. So this app, I think it was nearly $12 a month on subscription, but there's a 3-day trial or a 7-day trial. And I canceled the trial, but it still bings on my phone every single day. I still get brand new I am statements. So go and give it a try. I'll find it and I'll share it. It's just called I am, but I'll pop it into the event group and show you what it looks like. It's a little green box and it just says I am. So I will share that into the event group. So yeah, it's a really beautiful one. It just has lots of different I am statements. Oh, Nessie, you've already seen it. It's an awesome app. Okay, and then the accountability partner. This is a good one. So accountability partners are so powerful. They're someone who will be honest with you. They will check in with you regularly. They're an action taker themselves. So you want to choose your accountability partner very wisely. You want them to be someone who has achieved things that you want to achieve. They have positive habits, and there's someone that will I guess give you that time to check in with you. It's really important. It's not always ideal to have someone, so if you're in a business, it's not always ideal to have somebody who is your upline, because that can create I guess a little, like, they're great to be there to support you and coach you, but in terms of accountability, there's always going to be, well, you're my upline, so what I do directly impacts your business as well. So it can create a little bit of difficulty there. But it's not about them doing the work for you or being your mother. It's just about keeping you accountable to yourself. So I recommend finding someone who has been there, done that, and would happily check in with you, whether it be weekly, daily in some cases. The other thing that I do with my team is we have little accountability groups, and it's not necessarily business focused. It could be just a mindset accountability group, so that we're checking in with each other each day to make sure that we've done our 5 minutes of meditation, or that we've and we have them on different focuses at different times. Could be that we are sharing some sort of mindset practices, or doing I don't know, Earl Nightingale has a 10-minute video, and we might do an Earl Nightingale challenge where we listen to that every day for 30 days or something like that. And so we just keep each other accountable. So accountability is the glue that ties commitment to the results. And having an accountability partner can be scary again, but I tell you what, when you're accountable to someone else, it gets things happening. That's for sure. So in summary, we're setting those goals. We've done that. We've got the plan there. We've got all the habits that we need to do. We're going to be taking the action. Sticking to it is so important. The accountability partner will help you to stick to it. That will help you to reach the goal. And then most importantly, celebrate. Like I said at the beginning, when we're reflecting on 2020, it might not be that you achieve the whole goal, but if you've made progress and you've achieved a percentage of the goal, then that is worthy of celebration. Be happy with that, and work on the steps to get you further ahead to achieving it fully in the next year. So I love this quote by Tara Holling, and I shared this last year. It's just so beautiful, but it just says to choose to imagine what's possible instead of giving way to the fear of impossibility. Choose to visualize the vast potential of any given idea instead of anticipating the barriers and challenges that might stand in your way. Choose to let go of every preconceived notion, every voice of reason, and every cause and effect. Choose to dream big, think big, feel big, and be big. Eliminate the feelings of smallness and lack. Choose to refuse to fall victim to the circumstance and instead create your own reality. Choose to ignite a spark within you that burns so brightly it can never be darkened again. You hold the power to make it happen. Choose to believe. So I hope you got some value out of this tonight. And I thank you so much, Mel, for inviting me on. I absolutely love goal setting and, you know, all that comes to fruition from this process. And so I can't wait to maybe check in with you guys at the end of the year and hear who's accomplished their goals. I'd love to hear of everyone just making this the best year yet. 2021, look out.
Oh, thank you so much, Gillian. That was awesome.
Right.
I think there's a few questions. Cara, let's see a question from Cara.
I missed what's most important.
I'm not sure what aspect that was.
Did you want to unmute?
In
Cara?
regards to?
Sorry, I didn't. The accountability part.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
No, your phone just went like blurry to me when you were saying in the last little bit, and you said, but what's most important is
Accountability.
Sorry.
That was accountability.
Was it the accountability, Cara? Did you hear me talking about accountability?
Yeah, we finished on accountability, and then
one more thing. So
it was like the first sentence of the next bit.
Do you know what? I'm going to get the recording to you, and then we can all go back and check what
Okay.
is most important. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I think what you
Thanks
said
very
was
much.
what's most important is that you celebrate.
Oh, the celebration, of course.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay, yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
So yeah, Cara, celebrate.
That's it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Doesn't matter how much, you know, if you've made progress, it's worth celebrating. Thank you so much. Was that Nessie who said that? Thank you. Awesome. Okay, I'll stop.
Awesome. Well,